Welcome back to the Hollywood drama news. Today, we're not talking about the flashy red carpet dress or who unfollowed who on Instagram. Today, folks, we're talking about a lawsuit that started a series of stories between two celebrities that seemed like a Netflix movie that the director forgot to write the script for. DDG officially took Halle Bailey to court on June 4th, asking the court to stop Halle from taking their son, Halo, to Italy to film. On the day Halle was supposed to star in an international project, DDG claimed, "She is a psychological and emotional risk to my son." Wait, repeat that. A person who was previously sued for abuse is suing another for psychological endangerment? According to court documents released by E! News, DDG, real name Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr., claims that Halle repeatedly used emotional control and threats to threaten him. In that case, she demanded to come back or else she would have an abortion, or threatened to kill herself with his legal firearm. DDG even claims that Halle automatically grabbed a gun and left the house without a word, leaving him wondering, where is she going and will I ever see my gun again? DDG also alleges that Halle has abused him, not just emotionally, but physically, and even stalked and harassed him by hiding AirTags in his car to track his location. He's asking for full custody, or just a 2-day to 5-day schedule. DDG claims Halle's desire to take her kids to Italy to film is irresponsible and dangerous for Halo's safety. And Halle? In her response to the court, Halle accused DDG of deliberately delaying the coordination of lawyers and taking advantage of the expiration of the restraining order to prevent her from traveling to Italy with her child and using live streaming to manipulate public opinion against her. And this is just the setting for episode 1 of the drama we're about to embark on. From court rulings, back and forth on live stream, to conflicts in the Dark family. Are you ready? What made Halle decide to file for a restraining order? And what did DDG really do? Episode 2 of the long-running series between DDG and Halle Bailey, and this time the spotlight is on Halle, who has filed for an emergency restraining order against DDG after a series of actions she described as threatening, dangerous, and out of control. Halle went beyond recounting the incidents, detailing them. She said DDG pulled her hair, chipped her teeth, and left bruises on her arms. Another time, while she was away, DDG snuck in, took pictures of her bed, and implied that she was sleeping with another man. And that's not all. One time when Halle and her daughter were sick, DDG suddenly appeared, smashed the doorbell camera, threw her phone on the ground, and had to let the police handle it. Sounds like a movie scene? No, this is real life. He also called her a bitch, B-word, in front of others. Then a few hours later went on live stream to complain that Halle was deliberately not letting him see the child. But behind the scenes is never like the stage. Halle affirmed that she had created conditions for DDG to see the child many times, but the communication had to go through DDG's mother, Ms. Tanya. Why? Because DDG refused to communicate directly. Even when he had custody of the child, he left the child with his mother, then went streaming. Yes, live streaming to get views is better than spending time with the child. The turning point came when Halle was forced to seek a restraining order to protect herself and her son from his psychological control. "I tried to avoid litigation, I tried to keep things quiet, but he wouldn't leave me alone," she said. She added that she had arranged for DDG to meet Halo before leaving for the Met Gala, but he didn't honor the appointment, showed up on another day, and then blamed her on social media. All of that turned DDG into not just a nasty ex-boyfriend, but someone who Halle believed could harm her and her son at any time. We have an extremely painful question. Does DDG really want to be a good father, or is he using the role of estranged father as an excuse to maintain his image in front of fans? On live streams, DDG often whines, laments that he can't see his son, that his cruel mother is preventing him from fulfill her duty. Fans rush to criticize Halle, calling her a bitter baby mama. But what is the reality behind the live stream? Halle provided documents to the court showing that DDG did not respect the appointment, appeared without permission, even when Halle was at the Met Gala. When he was refused, he returned to live stream, complaining about the pain of not being able to see his child. Strategy or sincerity? Not to mention DDG's behavior by sharing misleading content about Halle on social media. Notably, he also stands behind or shows support for public accounts that call Halle a devil. Halle has even been joined by DDG's family, including her brother and sister, in sharing videos blaming her on TikTok, even though the Little Mermaid star has never once responded on social media. And Halo, the boy in the middle of this battle, seems to be turned into a tool for both sides. We are in the middle of a whirlwind of drama between Halle Bailey and DDG, where no one is completely white or black. And in this part, we ask the question, is Halle really the only victim? Or is DDG also hiding his injuries behind the noise of social media? In his latest countersuit, DDG shocked the media when he accused Halle of having emotional and psychological problems. He accused her of threatening suicide, mentally abusing him, and even leaving the house with a gun in her hand, with extremely dangerous implications. Not stopping there, DDG said Halle once pressured him by threatening to abort the baby if he did not return to the relationship. That is, either start over or break up with the child. And so, a new wave began to spread. Was all of Halle's actions about self-protection, or was there a hidden side of control? On social media, reactions were divided. One side still supported Halle, believing that she was forced to defend herself in a damaging relationship. The other side began to ask, if Halle was really stable, why did she need a restraining order and at the same time take her child to film abroad for 2 months? The court now faced two sides accusing each other, both of whom were labeled dangerous to the child. One was accused of pulling his girlfriend's hair and breaking her teeth. The other was accused of holding a gun while pregnant. Literally, no one is an angel in the battle of little angels. And Halo, still a little boy caught in the eye of the storm, has no voice in live streams, tearful posts, or the escalating legal battle. The court now faces tough questions. Who is truly more stable? Who can provide a safe environment? And who should stop using social media to broadcast every second of a custody fight? Because if every word, every message, every action becomes a weapon, then is anyone really loving the child? Or simply fighting to win? In this chapter, we touch on the hardest territory for any celeb: reputation. Yes, Halle Bailey is more than just DDG's ex or Halo's mom. She is one of the most sought-after young female stars, from Ariel in The Little Mermaid to international projects like Italiana. Yet as her career soars, her personal drama weighs it down like a lead anchor. On one side, Halle is doing all she can to prove she's a responsible mother, being considerate, cooperative, even staying off social media to protect her image. But on the other side, DDG keeps dropping cryptic hints during live streams and posts, making Halle trend with tags like denied access, gone to Italy leaving DDG, or mentally unstable. Remember, showbiz waits for no one. Producers, brands, and directors don't care about right or wrong. They only see the drama. And drama, especially when it involves women, particularly women of color, is a double-edged sword. And even worse, Halle got labeled a mom who took her son to hang out with Brent Faiyaz, which she vehemently denied via text. But retractions never go viral like rumors, and DDG knows that. In his court filings, Halle accuses DDG of using the media and his fandom to twist her image. I can't control his fans. I've been attacked online, called a whore, a bad mother, a money-hunting opportunist, she wrote in her testimony. Here's the twist. Halle isn't just fighting for custody. She's fighting for her right to exist as an independent artist, outside old-fashioned expectations of a successful mother. When famous women leave toxic relationships, they're called schemers. When famous men cry on camera, they're victims. It's a painful pattern. But that's how the media plays it. In short, Halle is shouldering two battles simultaneously, one in the courtroom and one in the court of public opinion. As the custody battle intensifies, people realize this is no longer just a legal dispute, it's a full-blown media campaign. Every post, every TikTok video, every facial expression is calculated. DDG, a rapper, streamer, YouTuber, knows image is everything. Instead of letting lawyers speak quietly, he chooses a different stage, social media. Meanwhile, Halle, the former Disney star, known for grace and poise, opts for silence. But her silence is being manipulated. DDG takes every non-response as content for a new episode in his ongoing series, I'm the Suffering Father. It's no coincidence that DDG shows up over serious, voice crackling with wounded emotion in live streams. It's no coincidence that his fans use those moments to proclaim, Halle is the abuser, DDG is the real victim. And then came the climax. DDG filed a countersuit, accusing Halle of threatening suicide, brandishing a weapon, and emotional coercion throughout their time together. The question is this the truth, or a tactical move to control public opinion and soften his chances if he loses custody? Courtrooms aren't live streamed, but TikTok is. And in this era, public opinion holds weight equal to a state Supreme Court. Whoever tells the most compelling emotional story wins. This is a war of image, and whoever controls the narrative controls the game. This is the final act of a modern tragedy. No more fiery Instagram posts, no more angry confrontations. The child at the center is no longer a background player, but the very field of battle. After months of lawsuits and back and forth accusations, the DDG Halle Bailey saga has become a symbol. The collapse of the dream couple ideal, and a frightening reminder that love, when it ends, can become the deadliest weapon, especially when a child is involved. But forget the parents for a moment. Look at Halo, a toddler under 2 with no clue what restraining order, legal weapon, or social media ownership means. But who can feel the tension in the air, the exhaustion in his mother's eyes, and the absence of his father's hand, or the opposite? Things that can't be written into court documents but leave deep scars in a child's mind. In most custody battles, people ask, whose fault is it? In this one, the bigger question is, who's putting the child first? For Halle, control may come from fear of losing her child, of being hurt further. For DDG, defiance might be a way to reclaim his voice, even if it's not always the right path. But both are forgetting that every live stream, every tweet, every leaked document leaves consequences. And those consequences aren't just waves of outrage or divided comments, they're the future of a little boy. If they truly love their child, then the greatest sacrifice now isn't proving who's right or wrong. It's knowing when to keep quiet. It's learning to compromise, not for each other, but for Halo. Because if they don't do that soon, Halo will grow up and ask, when I needed love, why did you only bring war? What do you think? Like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated on more gripping celeb dramas. Bye, guys.